Hi. Welcome back. Thank you for being here and thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I wanted to do a layout on a topic that comes up often, especially you'll know what I mean if you watch other card readers on YouTube or are interested in this type of relationship in terms of human relationships, but you hear a lot come up in card readings about relationships that are teaching you karmic lessons, karmic relationships. They're also known as that are in your life to teach you a lesson around karma to some extent. Which is one way of looking at it, and so those relationships come up often in card readings. And for whatever reason, I used to be kind of averse to those themes coming up until one day I just grasped. I mean, me included, we've all been impacted by relationships that for whatever reason are very triggering, either because the person is abusive and absolutely working against you and, in conflict with you. And then other times, maybe the challenge with the relationship is more subtle and difficult to pinpoint or pin down. But I wanted to just do a layout acknowledging an adversarial relationship you may be dealing with and what might be some advice for you. So this could be whatever type of adversarial relationship comes up. It could be romantic, a past romantic one, somebody at work, someone in your family, a friendship, right? These types of patterns and relationships play out over and over again. So it's nothing new to have, a relationship show up in your life where, I've had one and not long ago, both in my family, but also in another setting of just where somebody's more dark, toxic, or not toxic, but just darker traits, narcissistic traits maybe came really to the forefront and forced me to kind of face, how do you want to deal with this? Cynthia, what is your reaction to this type of experience going to be? So I'm hoping that this layout will be useful for a situation like that, that you can maybe get a bird's eye view or an outside look through a different lens at the relationship and how you might be able to handle it if you feel uncertain about it or really activated by it or frustrated with it, right? Let's just kind of see what might be some truths about this dynamic between you and an adversary, someone that feels adversarial in your life. This is your interaction with them in the present. So in this column we have you and the energy going on in your mind, the center of your mind or your thoughts, the world of the psyche, is the Seven of Wands. So it's really feeling important to you to stand your ground on whatever adversarial dynamic is happening between you and this other person. It could be an organization as well, though kind of what I'm looking at here so far, it looks like it's going to be a person. So you're feeling like you need to stand your ground, you need to hold a boundary or hold a line with this person, and you have the will and determination, and that's where your thoughts are, and your focus towards the relationship at this point is in standing your ground. And in your heart, you're passionate about delivering that. Hold on a second here. Yeah, you're passionate about delivering that message in an ongoing way to this person, that your boundary is firm, and that it may be that you've had to but you may have had to get more verbally aggressive than you would have normally. Whereas you might be someone who's a little bit averse to like an overt hostile conflict or exchange of words. In this case, in your heart, you're really feeling prepared to do that if it's necessary. You're not messing around when it comes to this relationship. So you're really feeling in your psyche, yes, I'm standing my ground. I'm standing up for myself. I feel really secure in my position in this conflict. And I don't care if my words were cold or if they were not received well, because at this point, that's not my concern. My concern is my standing my ground and standing up for myself, regardless of how it lands with this other person. So my sense is it's something that you've arrived at after quite a bit of history with this person. You're now like really not messing around about this situation. The person, this is interesting because this person is not perceiving you with any sort of conflict necessarily. They're perceiving you from a heart-based energy of love. In their mind, they are very conscious of the fact that they love you. So maybe they're aware that they've hurt you. A King of Cups is not a naive person emotionally. A King of Cups is very adept in the world of the heart. And in this person's mind, they feel very conscious of the fact that they love you quite deeply. So this could be a masculine energy of somebody like a father or a brother or a partner, like a romantic partner. But it's coming through as a king, and with quite a bit of love there is on their mind about you. And in their heart, they're really wanting to communicate that or convey it. And they may be trying to convey it. They want a swift moving forward with you, or a change, not necessarily as change indicated here, but they want something swift to occur, which to me means that they're aware of how upset you are and how done you are and how fed up or whatever kind of hard line you've drawn, that you're not fucking around basically. They are conscious of it, and in their heart they're really wanting to come towards you from a place of love and from a place of recognizing that they love you. So maybe this coming to major blows has shown them that, for example. Sometimes it takes realizing what you maybe have to lose before you recognize it. That could be that this person, by your hard line and the fact that there's no going back for you at this point, it's worked or it's gotten through to this person. Whether it's too late or not is another issue, but they're very conscious of you and how much they love you. The central unifying points between you are that you're both deeply hurt by what has gone down and created a conflict between you. It carries a lot of sorrow for both of you, and that's at the center of things here. So your need to take a stand and defend yourself has come, whatever has happened, it's been at quite a high price to your heart. Like for both of you, you're both pretty sorrowful about the history of what's gone down here. You both want to heal from it. You both may have a different approach to how to heal it. For example, you might be saying, the healing for me is that I am not budging from this line that I've drawn, and I'm willing to fight for it in a way that, I'm done worrying about your feelings. I'm done protecting your feelings. It's time to protect me. And if you don't like the words I'm saying, you have to deal with that. I'm done, maybe being so careful anymore with you, right? This person might be approaching healing the conflict between you from a different place, but they really want to be in contact. And these two cards keep wanting to come out. They're right on the top, so it's probably because my grip is loose, but I'm just going to go ahead and read them because this is like 3 times now. So it's the Queen of Cups, and here this person is in King of Cups energy towards you. So they love you. They see you as their partner. They see you as their mate. They see you as their counterpart, and they're very passionate about it. And that's where this 8 of Wands in their heart center is coming from. Like they want to tell you, they want to show you, they want to make that real. You are not, you have a pretty tight, narrow lane that this person's going to be able to be in with you as far as you're concerned. If they even step slightly out of it, you're pretty willing to say, no, I'm done, and walk away. I'm picking that up pretty strongly. But you both want to heal the sorrow. Where the energy is going is a time of trusting your own light and going within. So it's okay if you need to take time. This person really wants you. They love you. They see you as their counterpart. The King and Queen of Cups. This is totally the realm of the heart, and that's how they see you. They love you very deeply. They really want to rush forward with that love. But you're very defended here and guarded, and let's get a little bit more information about that, because this person's perspective is very clear, and like even wanting to pour out in this reading, they're wanting to be heard in this spread about how much they love you. So I think they're aware of that this is here for a reason. They're very conscious of why you're feeling you need to stand your ground and why you're prepared to fight for yourself here and your safety or whatever it is you're willing to fight for here. You're very serious about it. It's really serious. You're in very serious energy of like, this is not gonna fly anymore. I'm about done. You've already kind of got one foot out the door almost, is what I'm feeling. What else should we know about you over here in this relationship? It's been a lot of work. It's forced you to go into some major, this relationship has catalyzed deep changes within you. You've had to do a lot of work around this relationship, either on yourself or around the relationship, particularly on deep levels, like transformative levels. The death card is an energy of like before and after, metamorphosis, a total change. And it's starting to show the changes that you've gone through, in part because of this relationship, are showing up as the courage. It's really kind of cool in a way, because as much as this person loves you and as much as you've had to draw a line with them, what this is also showing me here is that the fact that you're able to draw this line and defend it so fiercely for yourself is in part because of this relationship and what it's made material for both of you. It's been an instructive relationship for both of you. It's transformed both of you, is what I'm seeing here. It feels adversarial now, but there's a recognition in both parties here of how transformative the relationship has been for you. You are not shying away from that knowledge. You're both facing it squarely, and you're both very aware of it, that this relationship has taught you a great deal. So in a way, even though there's this adversarial energy right here, what this reading is sharing is what a gift the relationship is to both of you, honestly. Whether that means it should continue is another story. That doesn't necessarily mean, some relationships that are super pivotal don't go on and on forever. They're not lifelong necessarily. I don't know. What's the Hermit energy up here? Where it's headed is a need to go within and listen to your own guidance and listen to your own counsel, but what else? What else about this Hermit card is important for you to know regarding this relationship and where the energy is heading right now? Relationships like this, in my experience, don't typically just end. Like, I kind of would be surprised if it was saying this is headed for an ending. What it seems like to me is that it's about to come around again in a new iteration, potentially, that's going to put you both in a place of making some decisions about the future of the relationship now that there's been changes on both sides. What about this Hermit? The Knight of Swords again. So your need to be fierce and clear in your delivery of your point here, or your perspective, whether that's your boundary or your perspective on this conflict, is present again. So it might be saying to trust that, or that you just need to examine it, that you might be a little too defended. But usually the Hermit is trusting your own inner light. So it's kind of urging you that it's okay. It's okay to be in this energy. It might be a little bit unfamiliar to you because it's such a change. What it's showing here is that this is not a way you've typically been for yourself, where you're this prepared to stand up for yourself, to state your boundaries clearly and concisely, and with a lot less worry about whether it's going to, what the outcome's going to be. It's like a shift in maybe an old dynamic that might have been a little bit codependent. I don't know. The King of Wands and the Devil. So it's kind of, what this is telling me is that to go within and keep trusting yourself and your inner light about this relationship, and about your need to be sure that you're speaking clearly on your own behalf, and speaking clearly on your perspective, is something that you can be confident in. It's okay to embrace this part of you that's maybe a little bit more fierce than you're used to. If you're being perceived as a Queen of Cups, it's for a reason. It's probably because you're very connected to your heart. And so it might be uncomfortable to be in a Knight of Swords energy for a Queen of Cups or a King of Cups, right? That might be out of your comfort zone if you're used to being very empathic and understanding to other people. To have to draw those kinds of firm lines, which is like, I said no and I mean no, and I'm willing to fight you on it until you hear me. Like, that might not be the world that you're used to being in, but you've got the fire of this sort of certainty of your inner masculine, however you identify. You've got the confidence of knowing, or you can take this as saying, you can have the confidence to trust that that's okay. This relationship can take it. And in fact, kind of what I'm seeing almost is that this person likes that you're willing to go this hard for yourself in the paint, that you're willing to be this fierce and like not easy to get over on, right? Like that might be a true meeting of equality. And I'm kind of almost getting, because this Devil is well represented here. I mean, the Knight of Swords with Devil energy, should be careful. Your words could really wound here if you're not being mindful of their power. But with this King and this Hermit energy, it seems to me like you are being mindful of the power. This person loves you. So my sense is that they regard this with respect, whatever line you're drawing here. They don't seem swayed at all. And that's why it's kind of showing me to embrace that a little bit, that this is what is maybe what's needed, what's been needed in this relationship, is you being willing to make a shift into demanding more for yourself, for example, right? Anything else? They love you. I don't know what the Two of Swords is here. Maybe they're recognizing that they are just holding back, because this energy is huge, that they see you as your counterpart with this Ace of Wands energy, with this Chariot, with this Lover's card. Like, that's a lot of really, this person loves you deeply and is very in love with you. Maybe even to the point that it can feel a little bit obsessive to them at times. And so they're trying to hold back. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this Two of Swords, is that they might be trying to get a grip a little bit, especially because they know how serious you are and they don't want to take the next steps lightly, I think. But I think they're respecting your limits here quite deeply. Let's see here. What else? What might be some words from this other person here? These are love oracle messages, so these will potentially be around love, but I hope that you can forgive me one day. That's why this person sees what you're doing. They understand. They respect you for the boundaries that you've been setting with them. And the hard things that you've had to go through in some ways because of this relationship. I hope that you can forgive me one day. They love you. They want to come rushing forward to say this. The sense I have is that they're barely holding it back for whatever reason. I'm not available. There's some reason maybe why they can't say all this right now. I feel you leaving me behind. So they have some worries. Maybe that's partly why they're wanting to rush forward. Because of these worries, but also worried about whether they could be worried about their conduct in the past. And that maybe, I think that's what this is, I'm not available is about. What about your words? Let's see if it'll say anything about what are your thoughts here, because you are very clearly willing to stand your ground and defend your position here. You've worked very hard to get through the sorrow caused in the dynamic in this relationship. The Knight of Swords showing up twice indicates like real willingness to fight for yourself and stand up for yourself. Yeah, it's so, I just say I knew it was going to be this card. You came closer than anyone. I think that you really let this person in, and it's been a major thing to go through. Whatever caused the separation or the sorrow between you, it's been really difficult for you to come through. And that's why you're so protected now, because this person really came closer than anyone, which it reminds me of that song, I've never fallen from quite this high. Like, I think that you really are protected for a reason, because this person really tapped into you closer than anyone. I wish I could take back my words. So you've had some maybe retaliative energy here with these Knight of Swords that you might have really conveyed in a definitive way how hurt you've been. Maybe your words were quite cutting to the point that they caused their own collateral damage to the relationship, right? Even if they were justified. The sense I have is that this person fully grasps that your words were justified. I don't even think that I even have the sense that maybe you've recognized that at points you've been, like, I have a relationship in my life where every time I convey my truth, it's in this really intense way that it's like, how are they even supposed to respond to that? When I really think about it, when I'm calm again, it's like, well, how could someone really respond to that? You know, I haven't given a lot of lead in. So I know seems to be some acknowledgement on your side of things that maybe you came on a little too strong in defending yourself. But what I see up here in this outcome energy with the Hermit, this person understands. They get it. The relationship can sustain the fact that you had to draw this hard of a boundary. I'm going to pull one more card here for this I'm not available, and just see, like, is there something preventing the relationship right now? Is that part of the pain or what? Because that might help you also know a little more. Sorry, this is not a good shuffle. I'm not available. Is there anything to know about that? Either due to this, I want to know why this person feels they're not available. Because they want to come rushing towards you. They're barely stopping themselves. This Two of Swords is nothing compared to an Ace of Wands, a Chariot, the Lovers. The fact that they see you as their total compliment. You know, they see you as their perfect match. So I wonder about this "I'm not available," what that means exactly. Queen of Pentacles. So there might be somebody else involved. Yeah. There's somebody else involved. So that's what this is saying, that that's why they're not available to you, because there's someone else involved. So, I mean, I think that's why this is coming more into focus now, why it's important for you to honor the Knight of Swords within you, because it's really important you protect yourself from a third party dynamic here. Not everybody, you know, I'm not picking up that this is like a consenting, this isn't like a polyamorous relationship. That's not what I'm seeing here at all. What I'm seeing now is that it makes sense that you're really being shown, like, do it, stand your ground, guard, protect yourself. With somebody else involved here, you really can't afford it. You can't afford, you know, you came closer than anyone. You're guarding yourself for a reason, and it's a very smart reason, because there's somebody else involved here. So I asked, what's some advice for you? Because this outcome energy is hermit, kind of solo, guard yourself energy, because, and it's clear now why, because there's another person involved here. So it's very clear that you need to continue to guard yourself the way you have been, especially because you're this vulnerable to this person. You love this person too. So I asked, what's some advice? I didn't say that out loud, but I asked, what's the advice for you? Because the energy is headed in a direction where you're still going to need to guard yourself, unfortunately. But where the advice for you is to just keep trusting your judgment and your intuitive wisdom with the High Priestess here. Your concern about being left out in the cold is going to come to an end. This cycle is going to come to a completion, and intuitively you seem to understand that, but it's not over yet. In the immediate future is a continuation of your shielding of yourself. But intuitively, I feel like you're understanding that you're being left outside in the cold is coming to an end. The cycle is coming to an end because you stood your ground. That's what's coming out here. The cycle with this past dynamic here with being embroiled in a third-party situation is coming to an end. But that's why it's been adversarial. That's why you feel adversarial towards the King of Cups over here, is because you've gotten involved in a triangle, in a third party, and you've had to really draw some hard lines around that. And this is saying, keep drawing those hard boundaries. This person gets it. They feel very sorrowful about the impact that it's had all around. And your intuition is right that this cycle is coming to an ending, and it's going to come to a positive completion, because the Four of Wands is a joyful outcome. So I'm just going to pull any more clarity on that. Trusting your intuition, you have a sense that this is coming to a close. You're not as vulnerable to it as you used to be. And you're willing to walk away, clearly. You're willing to leave behind something that's not good for you. Even though it's been sorrowful. Things are calming down. You've transcended, this devil energy, this obsessive energy, that's this obsessive quality that's maybe been brought out in you as part of this relationship's dynamic because of the third party. Your strength has overcome the main hook of this kind of dynamic, which can be quite toxic, right? Your strength and your willingness to extract yourself from this and seek calmer waters is creating a tower over here in some way. So I think what I'll do now, I was going to try to wrap this up, but to pull a card that says there's a tower coming, it makes me just feel like I shouldn't maybe leave it on that note. I'm going to pull what's important for you to know about the tower. You're probably just going to need to remain in hermit energy through the tower and protect yourself. It's not a tower about you. That's not what I'm feeling, but let's see. What about the tower? I think your willingness to do what you've done is creating a tower somehow, but let's see. What about this tower? Good news. The tower, there's going to be some good news coming to you based on the tower. You don't have anything to worry about. It's not your tower. You've already done your work over here with this death card, so you don't need to worry about the tower. That's for this dynamic over here. So now I'm going to pull a little Colette Baron Reed Oracle, and then we'll wrap this up. Oh my gosh, my foot fell asleep on me. The cycle's coming to a completion, which is nice. And there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence of numbers here that came out in the layout. The Ace of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords. I think that's where it stops. So that's kind of neat. I don't think there was a 7 that came out. Oh yeah, the 7 of Wands. There was a 7. Just wrapping it up for you. Exchanging gifts. Gosh, this is so cool. This is like the third time this card has come out. It means it's a kind of a positive omen for this relationship, honestly. But what I feel like what I want to say for some reason is just, you don't need to do anything over here. Your work is done. The work that you did by drawing the hard lines that you drew, that was the hard work. You've done the hard work. You don't need to do anymore. This over here, you just need to keep going about your business. That 8 of Pentacles, wherever that came out. The work that you've done to transcend the difficult aspects of this triangle is done. You don't have to do anymore. Your willingness to do that work is bringing you to a completion in the toxic cycle of this dynamic. And the positive omen here is exchanging gifts. It's been a gift to both of you in some way that maybe hasn't fully revealed itself in this layout. Card 27. I'm going to read it, though, just to see if there's something it's important to hear in her words about the exchanging gifts. But this relationship has brought you gifts, you know. And it's the holiday season where gifts are exchanged. So there may be a literal exchanging of gifts between you that's in some way going to open up a dialogue, right? Let's see here. Love is an exchange of life force energy between two beings. It grows exponentially when it is reciprocated. You must give and receive in order for love to flourish and abundance to flow between you. Spirit wants you to start accepting all the blessings waiting for you, as well as offer the same gift in return. Open your heart and allow it to be filled. Let love in and let it flow out of you too. Love is truly yours today. That's great, but it's interesting because I kind of had the sense that you're still being encouraged that it's okay to have had those hard lines that have felt maybe a little bit brutal to you. So I'm going to pull an oracle card now for that outcome here, because that's a really positive omen for this. And it's saying the hard lines were necessary so that you can start receiving. That is coming through clearly. in an equal measure for this person who thinks now clearly how much they love you. So now let's see is where the rubber meets the road, right? Is this person going to show that with actions, or is it just going to be something they feel, right? They want to come rushing towards you, but what about this Hermit energy with the Devil and the Knight of Swords? Where the energy is headed? What's a clarifying oracle card for that? What's important for you to understand about that dynamic? Breathe. And this card came out recently too. So it's exactly right. With this over here, you don't need to do anything. You just need to breathe and allow to arrive whatever is going to start arriving for you about this relationship, whether it's a reconciliation, an exchanging of gifts, an explanation from this person. You do not have to do anymore. You have done, it's okay to lay down your sword, right? Or it's okay to stop. You've done the hard work. Just wait and watch while this comes to a completion, and breathe and enjoy the present moment, because there's about to be a more even exchange of energy between you. I'm going to actually pull one more. What is the exchange? What's the give and receive? It's probably just maybe even going to be some communication from this person. What's the exchange here? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. Everything you've been wishing to break through in the material world is going to start to break through. If you let go, breathe, allow it to come into you. The Moon. And the Sun. That is really a gorgeous, I mean, the Moon and the Sun, come on. And the Ten of Pentacles, that's so beautiful. This is a really positive omen for this relationship. The past makes sense. This person gets it. This person gets that they hurt you. That's Three of Swords at the center. They're very aware. What's going to break through in this relationship is a new dynamic where it feels that you feel seen and understood for what happened and ready. The energy is ready to be shifted on both sides. It's a harmonizing force of bringing this old cycle to a completion. And then the Sun and the Moon together, I mean, that's a really alchemical answer to like the exchanging gifts and breathe question. It's just a complete harmony both within and without, within you and in the external world, coming into a total abundance of everything you need. And this representation of alchemical harmony of the Sun and the Moon, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the receptive and the active. I mean, it's just really beautiful, 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 beautiful. Really beautiful reading. I'm thrilled that I got to do it, actually. It's nice to read readings like that. And so what turned out to be a question about an adversary, it's so much like this is your greatest love. This is your biggest lover, as well as having gone through an adversarial period. So it's a relationship full of fire, that's for sure.